We've also been able to hear today from journalists Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger, both of whom were tapped by Elon Musk to look into the Twitter files. We have some sound from Matt Taibbi earlier today, and here's what he had to say.
We learned Twitter, Facebook, Google, and other companies developed a formal system for taking in moderation requests from every corner of government, from the FBI, the DHS, the HHS, DOD, the Global Engagement Center at State, even the CIA. For every government agency scanning Twitter, there were perhaps 20 quasi-private entities doing the same thing, including Stanford's Election Integrity Partnership, NewsGuard, the Global Disinformation Index, and many others, many taxpayer-funded.
Taxpayer-funded organizations censoring content on social media. Let's welcome in now Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, great to have you with us.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
You know, it's shocking, I guess, every time we learn more about how much coordination apparently there was between the federal government and big tech to push a certain narrative. And I think the question a lot of us are left with at this point is, you know, will this go anywhere? I mean, this is a House Judiciary Committee. Republicans control that side of things, but Republicans don't control the Senate side. What does the Senate plan to do with this information?
Yes, we are looking forward to taking some of these bills that come over from the House and exercising Rule 14 and moving them directly to the floor and calling the vote on some of these bills. I think that that is going to be important for us to do. Reining in big tech is a priority that I have as the top Republican on the Consumer Protection Data Security Committee, where we oversee the FTC, we oversee the tech sector, and we have held so many hearings focused on what big tech is doing to children and their data, and how children are being so adversely impacted. And John, I think that that's going to be the starting point for us. My Kids Online Safety Act, I actually think that is going to pass in the next few months. We have built bipartisan support for that. And close behind that, we have my online privacy bill. We have data security. The Open App Market Act, again, that has bipartisan support. And some of our colleagues who are Democrats are beginning to realize, because they're hearing from their constituents, they're realizing that the way big tech tries to control what you hear, what you see, what you say, what you think, and thereby how you vote, that this is a problem. The censorship, the Section 230, we had a hearing in Judiciary Committee yesterday on Section 230, and it was interesting to see the bipartisan agreement that Section 230 needs to be reworked, that the language in Section 230 needs to be less ambiguous, needs to be more specific. Those are good signs for conservatives who have been pushing this issue for quite a while.
We also learned yesterday the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, demanded internal communications between CEO Elon Musk at Twitter and these independent journalists. And here's what he had to say, quote, "It's a shameful case of a weaponization of a government agency for political purposes and suppression of the truth." You have to wonder, Senator, what would happen if Elon Musk had not had purchased Twitter?
Well, you do have to wonder about that, and he has really lifted the shade on this. I am so grateful that he is there, and we are knowing. And the FTC, by requesting these communications, they are outside of their mission. They have no business doing that. It doesn't affect what they are required to do. And what we seek to do is to keep the FTC focused on their mission and to narrow this mission creep that they are up to. It's why we're going to do some hearings on reauthorization of the FTC.
There was a poignant moment today during the testimony from journalist Michael Schellenberger, and he recalled this warning, you know it well, I know it well, from President Eisenhower as he parted the White House. This was his warning, and Schellenberger echoed that today. Let's take a listen.
In his 1961 farewell address, President Dwight Eisenhower warned of, quote, the acquisition of unwarranted influence by the military-industrial complex. Eisenhower feared that the size and power of the complex, or cluster, of government contractors and the Defense Department would, quote, endanger our liberties or democratic processes. Eisenhower's fears were well-founded. Today, American taxpayers are unwittingly financing the growth and power of a censorship industrial complex run by America's scientific and technological elite, which endangers our liberties and democracy.
And that's it, right? We have a censorship industrial complex. You know, we're dealing with this here at Newsmax, AT&T, DirecTV. They continue to keep us off their lineup while they let, lesser watch channels that they pay them for on their platform. What can we do about this, Senator?
One of the things that we need to do is realize the American people join us in being concerned about free speech. I did a telephone town hall last night, and this censorship, this push for big tech wanting to control what you see, what you hear, and thereby what you say, what you think, how you vote, as I said earlier. This is something that everyday Americans are beginning to say they want their choice and their options. So making certain that people that are using this spectrum, companies that are pushing this message out, that we are reining in big tech and that we are keeping them from controlling the speech of Americans, that we are keeping them from exercising this censorship. That is why online privacy, online data security, it is why reforming the language in Section 230 is an imperative, and I work on it every single day.
You got to make sure those members of Congress, like the ones who really started pushing this, Congresswoman Eshoo and Congressman McInerney, they don't have undue influence over private corporations.
That's right.
And that's where this really all started. We appreciate your efforts and your support on this. Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you.
You got it. Take care.